Today I'm going to be doing routine maintenance on the 2002 Hyundai Santa Fe. It's a V6 model and we're changing the spark plugs and spark wire set. Let's go ahead and get started. So I've gone ahead and removed the engine cover so we can get started and see what we're looking at. There are these three black circles with wires leading away from them right there on the face whenever you open the hood. These are the spark plug wire set, or at least three of them. Once we remove those, there's going to be three spark plugs inside there. If you have a four-cylinder engine, you'll just have four of these sticking straight up. It'll be a really easy job. You can get it done in no time. You'll notice there are only three on this, meaning there's three more somewhere else. If you have an 8-cylinder, there's going to be 8 total. We'll follow these wires around and see that this is where the boot hooks up. So we can follow these three wires down, around, and under, and they're going to be a little tougher to get to. Once we have to get some stuff out of the way, we can get started on those, but first I'd like to focus on these three. It's critical to remember which spark plug wire set you're going to be replacing at any given time. You'll notice that with each one of these cords, wires being a different length, it's going to require that you get them put back on in the same sequence as they came off. So come here and you can pull that out and remove the wire from the wire holders. Come over here to the boot, give it a pull, and you've got it taken off. So in order to stay organized, you'll want to compare the length of the one you've removed with one that came out of the package. You'll notice that's going to be the correct one for this one. So we'll lay it off to the side and stay organized so we can put it back on once we change the spark plug. I've got a 5/8 socket there with the socket extension so we can get down in there. I've broken it loose. So loosen that off, and I found that you can use a 10mm socket to sit down over the spark plug itself to get it out. It can be a real pain trying to get a spark plug out of the that cavity that it sits down in. So go ahead and remove those. You can put the next spark plug in the same way that you took it out. So that'll be the next step. I've replaced this boot end, and I'm now trying to insert the other. When you get it in there, you'll feel it and also hear it click. Go ahead and put these back. I did have to remove a couple of these in the process just to make it easier to get to. I didn't have to. It just made life simpler. I'm putting those back so I don't forget which order they came off in, because again, it does have a sequence, and these wires are routed in such a way that it's the most efficient manner, so you'll want everything to cross over the same way it did before. I'm in the process of getting back there to the final three of the spark plugs. First thing I did, unhook this. It's just got a little button clamp type deal you press in. Then I removed this one. It's spring action, comes down from there. And also this one, which similarly has that spring. I've now loosened off the screw that clamps down for the vacuum hose, and I'm about to work on taking this off. It's a bracket that holds everything tight. It's a 10mm socket head. May not have to do this, but I've taken that out of the little clamp it sits in, as well as this one. Okay, so I've continued progressing along, taking bolts off, trying to loosen off this intake manifold. This hose that I was talking about, maybe not having to take the hose out of the clamp earlier, that was a lie. You got to take the clamp off itself. There's 2 bolts there, and then I've taken these 3, 1, 2, 3 bolts off, and also a nut on either side. Now I've taken these 2 bolts out of the center here, and for the first time it's starting to feel a little loose. Keep note of everything that you can. These bolt heads have 7 on them. You might want to write that down. 7 came out of here. you want to put everything back together obviously the way that it came out. So in doing so, make proper notes. So I'm not going to lie and say it was easy. I did get the rear three spark plugs and wires put back. It was a pain. There's not enough maneuverability at all to do it easily. Even with virtually everything detached from the intake manifold, which is that. I'm not sure I had identified it before, but it's going to be crucial to come in from the back side on some, especially the middle one. Whenever you put your tool in, your socket, your extension, I found it to be easier on some cases to put the socket in first, drop it down, and then put the extension in behind it and make sure it snaps in good and all that, and then attach the ratchet part after you've already got it put on the spark plug inside there. You're not going to have enough room to bring in a socket, extension, and ratchet all in one clean swipe. There's not enough room for that, so do that like I just said there. It's just everything that you see that's holding you up. Anything that adds to your maneuverability, you can go ahead and remove as long as you make note of it, so you can put it back on the same way. Again, do those one at a time. Be sure to give it a good one over, because there's going to be hoses that you're putting a little stress on without even realizing it as you're maneuvering back in there to try to get everything put together. So give it a good one over, make sure everything's put back the way you found it, and go ahead and comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to clarify, or maybe even post a second video or something to clear up any of those issues. So good luck on doing this. Again, safety first, so use gloves, use heat-proof sleeves, whatever it takes to be safe, and obviously let your engine cool down, because you're right in the heart of it. So safety first, guys. Good luck on this.